The king of the munafiqs is a man by the name of Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul. This man harmed Islam and harmed the Prophet and harmed the very household of the Rasul on endless occasions. For example, the first campaign of Islam, which is Badr, and you know the story of that, and Allah granted the Muslims victory. The Quraysh swore revenge for the battle of Uhud. Now the Muslims decided to go out and meet this army. The enemies are 3,000, so 1,000 Muslims marched out to meet them. Halfway to the battle, Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul decides, I am not going anymore. Me and my men will turn back to the city. If you've watched military movies, you understand that when 30% of the army turns back, the morale of the rest will fall. You will start having second thoughts. What am I doing? So it damaged the morale of the Muslims, and he did it deliberately, maliciously, at a point where he should have been there besides the Rasul. And then when the Muslims suffered and 70 more and more Muslims were martyred in the battle of Uhud, this man has the audacity to say, if you had taken my advice, none of this would have happened. So you see, he's militarily, strategically hurt the deen. And then on another campaign, he is there with the Prophet. It's a long, tedious campaign, and in it he gathers a group of people and says, when we go back to Medina, we the honorable will kick out the dishonorable, as in these new Muslims, the Prophet and his people, we will kick them out of the city. On another campaign, he saw our mother Aisha radiallahu anha tarry back from the caravan, and he made abusive claims about her, which Allah has recorded in the Quran, and Allah took her out clean and pure from that. So he's attacked the household of the Prophet, the honor of the Rasul, the dignity of Islam. He's done what he's done. So subhanalladhi biyadihi al-maqadir, time passes, and now the same man, Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul, is on his deathbed. His son is a righteous man, a strong Sahabi of the Prophet. And subhanallah, in the days where he was strong, as in the father was alive and kicking, and he heard what he had done to the Rasul, the son came to the Prophet, Ya Rasul, if you want to order his execution, tell me to do it. Because I can't see someone else execute my father and walk in the cities, in the streets of Medina. So if you need to do it, tell me, I'll do it. So the Prophet said, no, we will bear with your father patiently. So now anyway, Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul is on his deathbed, and shortly he dies. So listen to this. Now the son comes to the Rasul. My father has died. Can you give me your thawb, your garb, your personal clothing to coffin my father in? And this is an honor not available to most of the ashab. There are very few that can claim, I was buried in the dress of the Rasul. Yet this man has come. He's not asking for Umar or Abu Bakr. He's asking for Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul. Give me your thawb for him. And you see Rahmatul lil Alameen take it off and say, here, go coffin your father in this. Then he comes, O Prophet, lead the salah of his janazah. Like, you put yourself in that position, someone who's insulted your family, someone who has tried to, create division in the ranks of your army, someone who caused implicitly the loss of some 70 of your companions. Your blood will boil from your toe to your head. He is dead, alhamdulillah, may Allah put him in the depths of hell. The natural reaction. But the Rasul says, I will come and lead the salat of janazah. What type of heart did you have, Ya Rasul? So the Prophet ﷺ goes. Can you visualize? The Rasul alayhi afdalu salatu wa tammu taslim is standing. The janazah of Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul is there. And the best of the creation after the Prophet is lined up behind him to pray on this head of the hypocrites. And as he's about to start, Umar ibn al-Khattab comes and stands here between the Prophet and the janazah. And he says, Ya Rasul, this is Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul. So the Prophet says, I know, move from me, Umar. So he says, Ya Rasul, he is the one who said, لَإِن رَجَعْنَا إِلَى الْمَدِينَةِ لَيُخْرِجَنَّ الْأَعَزُّ مِنْهَا الْأَذَلِ. This is the one that said, when we go to Medina, the honored will kick out the dishonorable. The Rasul said, I know, move, Ya Umar. Said, he is the one that forsook Uhud. Says, I know, Ya Umar, move. So Umar insists. So the Prophet said, Allah has given me a choice. Ask forgiveness for them, or don't ask forgiveness for them. And if you were to ask the verse, 70 times forgiveness, I will not forgive them. So the Rasul said, if I know that if I ask 71 times and Allah on the 71st one will forgive him, I will ask 71 times, Ya Rab, forgive him. You see, rahmatul lil alameen. So the Prophet stood, alayhi salatu wasalam, and led the salat of janazah on this hypocrite. And when he finished, Jibreel came with the verses, don't stand on their graves ever again, nor seek forgiveness for them ever. So this became forbidden after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed this monumental expression of mercy to those who by any standard didn't deserve it. If it was a military court, if the man was court-martialed, he would have been executed at Uhud. So therefore, it is time for us as Muslims to understand the real mission of the Rasul. And that was a mercy to the worlds.